Is Crate Hackers worth it? Well, today I'm going to do a deep dive into Crate Hackers 11. I'm going to give you the pros and cons and everything in between so you can make an educated decision for yourself. So if you're not familiar, Crate Hackers is essentially a crate building app for desktop and laptop computers. And how it works is you sign up, you download the app, and then the app will scan your hard drive. You basically tell it where all your music is, and it scans your entire hard drive. And then after that, it gives you an option to basically select all the music pools you use, select which DJ program you use so it can tailor the app to you, and then you go to the main screen, which is right here. Now it's pretty cool, so it gives you a whole library overview. So this is my library, 13,000 songs. Looking light, huh? You proud of me? You proud of me? I've been doing a lot in the background, okay? I used to be the 250,000 song guy. I brought it down to 50,000 songs about 5 years ago, and just recently, your boy lost some weight, all right? Your boy slimmed down. My DJ library went on Ozempic, okay? We did what we had to do. But anyway, I got 13,000 songs here, 6,000 something artists, which is kind of crazy, 822 genres. I really got to clean that up. 115 duplicates, and it doesn't give me a health score here. I think it's because my library is just so slim. Crate Hackers might be used to all these big fat libraries, but I don't know. Usually you'd have a health score. It's out of 100, and it'll tell you, how good your library is. And it's based on duplicates and things like that. We all have a bunch of dupes, and we'll start there, okay? So it basically has your whole library right here, and one of the things you can do right off the bat before you even build a crate is you can go to the duplicates tab right here, and then it's going to bring you to this page, and it shows you all the different songs that you have duplicates of, and it gives you details too. You could see like what bitrate it is. It gives you recommendations as well, and you can resolve all of them at once. You could do quick actions, basically quick delete, keep likely master, delete others, or you can individually go through. I mean, since I only have like 100 and something dupes, I'll actually go through and select which one I want to keep no matter what. And then you basically do that, delete the selected, and bam, just like that, you got rid of all your duplicates and you got a cleaner hard drive. It should bring up your little health score here if I had one. But now let's talk about the bread and butter of this entire app, and that is the crate builder. That is what this entire thing is based off of, and we'll go here. So first of all, you can import a crate from Spotify. So let's say you have a crate on Spotify you really like and you want to convert it to a DJ crate, you can use this. Or if you got a couple that sent you a Spotify playlist for dancing or whatever, same thing, you can import that from Spotify and make it a DJ crate. You can import from curated crates, where just a bunch of crates that are curated by the Crate Hackers curators, including myself. And then also just, anybody who, they do like hackathons all the time and they build crates together. They're all listed here. They're all searchable. So if there's a certain genre you want to build on, there's a lot of pre-made crates here that can give you a great head start. Then you can also import from trending crates. These are the same thing as curated crates, but they're trending, so they're the most popular ones on this platform. You can build from a single track. So you can basically take this and you can basically say, okay, September, look up September, name it whatever you want. I don't know, September crate, I don't know. And then you select September. You did one single track and then go next. And then it'll absolutely give you a million different options based on September. Energy boost, energy drop, perfect match, and then you can build a crate from there, just from scratch, from one song. You can import from a text or file. So let's say your bride is a teacher and she sent you a color-coded Excel spreadsheet full of song requests. You can import it into here. You can import from Serato directly, so any of your Serato crates. You can import from Simple, SMPL, that new CRM. If you're using that, then you can import your requests directly from there. And you can also import from DJ Event Planner if you use that as a CRM for your couples. Now, right now, the one downfall is I only see a Spotify option, so there's no Apple Music or let's say Tidal, but there is a workaround. You can use Soundees. I'll link it below, and basically you can convert any playlist off of any platform into a Spotify playlist and then use that to import it in here. So it's like an extra step there, but I definitely suggested to them a million times to add this, and it's going to come soon, but it's just not available right this second. But now you know about all the different ways you can import playlists into Crate Hackers. Now let's give you an example of how you export it out and how the whole workflow works. So first of all, let's start with, curated crates, and then let's do DJ Dynamics opening set here. So I'm going to select that. It's going to load up here. And then basically it already cross-references my hard drive. So any matches that I have based on this crate, if I already have the song, then I can just go through and I can select which version, right? So Shake It Off, Naked 2021 edit. I don't have that, but it gave me this as a suggestion, so I'm just gonna uncheck that. You have an option here. You can select the first one, you can select all, you can unselect all, and then I can export it a million different ways. I can convert this into a Spotify playlist here, which is really, really cool. I can export this into my DJ software. So you got Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, or Serato right here. The thing with Serato though is you have to have Serato 4.0 for it to work. I don't have 4.0 because I hated it. So I made a video about that right here, by the way. And then you can also export it as a CSV, a PDF, or an M3U. So that's what I'm going to do. So all right, we'll just select all for fun. So I'm going to unselect all, then select all. Just for fun, just to give you an example of this. And then M3U, you select where you want it to go. So bam, save here. And then it is a playlist, an M3U playlist. And then what you do from there is you bring up your DJ program. Come on, baby. All right, brought up my DJ program. That's for my wedding this weekend. And then I just take this playlist, which is put it over here, and then you drag it in, and then bam, it makes a crate with all the music that you had in there. What's cool though is, let's say you're like me and you didn't have half the songs on this playlist, right? Dynamics has all these fire edits and I don't. Well, what Crate Hackers also does is, let's say under BMF by SZA, you can go to Pools, Stream, or Buy, and it'll show you all the places that it's at. So, all right, BMF is just a regular song, so I could just buy it off of Apple Music. So I'm going to click Apple Music here. Apple Music comes up, and then it'll automatically bring up the song. And then I can select the song and buy it right on Apple Music. But let's say it's like a DJ edit, right? Let's say it's like a Louis Wave edit. Then you go under here to Pools, and it'll tell you which pools have it. So this edit is actually on Direct Music Service. And then you click there, it brings you right to Direct Music Service, and you can download it right there on the spot. So you can basically source every single song on a list that you don't have all integrated built in, which is super fire. So you're not like digging for these edits. Like, where'd you get that, bro? Can you send it to me? Whatever. Like, if it's out there, it's going to cross-reference it and find it for you, and then direct link. Bang. Well, let's say you don't feel like downloading each individual song and chasing each one down, and you don't mind streaming it. You could just stream it. You're a streaming person, okay? Well, you can export this as a Spotify playlist or export it as a Beatport playlist. And Beatport's probably your best bet because right now, if you're not familiar, at the time of filming this video, Beatport and BeatSource are merging, and Beatport is going to take over, and everything that was on BeatSource is going to go on Beatport. So they're combining the libraries right now, and they are going to be the biggest source of music for all DJs because they're going to have every edit, every intro, every remix, everything's going to be on there. So once that's complete, because it's going to take like a month or two to get every song in there, and you know, it's a big undertaking for sure. But once that's complete, then you can take any crate ever, export it directly to Beatport. It's already built into Crate Hackers, and then you right off the bat, bam, you don't have to find no music. It's there. You can stream it. You can download it to your offline locker if you don't have good Wi-Fi wherever you're DJing or whatever. And it just makes everything so seamless. Like, this is the future, people. This is kind of nuts. Now, for me personally, I use this all the time to convert couples playlists. It makes it nice and easy because I do a lot of weddings and I get these monster playlists. So it just cuts down a lot of time rather than dragging and dropping each song or whatever. I can easily just convert their playlist into a crate on my Serato. I can easily find any certain remix or any song that I didn't have that they wanted and download it. It just makes my life very easy. But another huge way I use Crate Hackers is for music discovery, because basically I can go through all these mixable crates, right? And I'll find like a lane I don't know a lot about, and then I take that crate, I convert it into an online playlist, and then I can listen to it and kind of find music that I like or find edits I like, or I convert it to a Serato crate, I bring it up into my Serato, and then a lot of times it'll bring up different versions of songs that, like, you know, are just living in my Serato and I just forgot I had or I never play, and I discover music that way. It's just a fun way to do it. You know, you're just seeing playlists through other DJs' eyes, and then you're going through and you're using your own personal taste and figuring out what you like and you don't like, and then you add it to the appropriate crates on your end, and that's just how you discover music and build. Like, it's like a whole process I've been doing lately, and it really helps, you know? But yeah, beyond all that, they also have a business plan, and basically what you can do is you have an admin, right, for your business. You can manage your team. You could share crates with your your team, and basically you add a team member. It's like $15 a month, I think, per team member you add, but you can basically upload all your master wedding crates on there, and then they can access them. You can update crates, so you can have like a new wedding music crate over there, and then your whole team can log on to Crate Hackers and access it, and then they can use the same process to cross-reference their hard drives, make sure they have the music, locate the music, and you also have additional tools built into here, like the duplicate deleter we were doing earlier, and then they have a folder flattener right here. Basically, like, let's say you have a folder that's full of music, but it's like there's a bunch of subfolders in between. There's a folder and a folder and a folder. Well, you can use the folder flattener, and it basically takes all that and just converts it into one folder full of music. So it gets rid of all those subfolders and moves it all just like that, which is pretty cool. Now, the price of Crate Hackers is $30 a month or $297 a year, but they're actually doing something special for my subscribers, and this is how it works. So essentially, you go to the link in the description, cratehackers.com/Spinelli, use the promo code Spinelli in all caps, and then you can get your first month for $1, so you could try it out for just $1, or you can get 50% off your first annual subscription, so you can get it for an entire year for less than $150. With all that being said, let's talk about cons. In full transparency, like, I curate playlists with Crate Hackers. I work with them. I know the guys, and I think they're working on fixes. They said, yeah, you're right. We're going to work on it. So these are all fixes that should be coming in the future, but here are the current cons. The first con for me is, let's say we're building a crate here, right? Let's go to a curated crate, school dance crate, okay? Well, for me, number one, there's not a light mode. It's only dark mode. I think there definitely should be a light mode if you're using this outside or whatever. It's going to be tough to see if you got a glare. But on top of that, it can be, like, I always turn my brightness like up because it can be a little tough on the eyes to see. I feel like there should be a clear distinction between the tracks. So you have track 1, and then here's the versions of the songs I have on my hard drive. Then you have track 2, and then I don't have any versions. Track 3, I got a million versions, right? Got to clean that up. But there's no, I feel like, and I told them this, they should have like a line in between or something, so it's like an easier distinction, because if you don't have your mouse hovering, it kind of all blends together a little bit. But maybe it's just me. You tell me. I'm getting old. I could be going blind. The second, I mean, I don't know if it's a con, but I just think it would be a great idea, is that they should be able to read the metadata of your play count within this. So, like, instead of just select first and select all, I would love to have a button here that says select most played track. So I can just really quickly select the most played. We all have like the one version of the track that we always play. So for the most part, that would be such an easy way to build these playlists, because, you know, that's kind of what I'm doing in Serato anyway. I will always organize it by play count when I'm searching, and then usually the top 2 or 3 of those songs, you know, are the one I'm looking for. Honestly, overall, I think it's a great app. I use it all the time. It's like ingrained in my workflow. And the biggest criticism it gets is usually from like the OG gatekeeper DJs, because they get mad about the whole like, oh, well, people are just sharing their fire, and like people shouldn't just be sharing the crates, and DJs are going to lean on that, and it's just a cheat code, and DJs aren't thinking for themselves anymore. My thing with it, I just hate that whole mindset, like, oh, don't share nothing. Like, people get mad at me for sharing my word plays and all that. It's just, why? Okay, why? Listen, there's going to be lazy people, and then there's going to be people that do the work, and their career will show from it, okay? If you're just lazy and you just use this to lean on, and you know, you don't dig for music yourself, you don't use your own personal taste and listen to each song and say, hey, you know, I went through this whole playlist and I liked a quarter of it. A quarter of the songs on this playlist I thought were great. The other 75%, I wouldn't play. I don't think it's a good idea. Like, you know what I mean? Just use your own personal taste. Use your own personal instinct, and use it as a music discovery tool like that, you know? Like, not just like using it as a cheat code. Like, you can do that. I'm not mad at you. You can use it however you want, but like, who cares? All these OG gatekeepers are just crybabies because they're just getting old. Their back hurts from carrying all those records back in the day. And just, oh, just back in my day, we had white label records. You could never know what we're playing. Now there's Spotify, blah, blah, blah. Like, stop, okay? Stop. And then the other point of that is, okay, you want to protest this and not use it at all because it's just not right for the DJ community? Well, guess what? Everyone else is going to use it, and they're going to have an advantage over you. So you either embrace the technology, you embrace the innovation, or you don't. The choice is yours, people.